Are we back? Yes? Okay, we are back, guys. Woo, today's going to be with emotion. Okay, so let's rewind everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you and what are we doing here, Leandro? Please introduce yourself.
No problem. My name is Leandro. I am 41 years old. I am an English teacher at 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗀.
Hello, shout out to you guys. A lot of them are here watching us.
Excellent. Good pause there. So, I've been working, I worked in business area for about 20 years. And 10 years from now, I started the journey as an English teacher, firstly in NGO, helping poor people to study and know a little bit more about this language. And after some years with also classes for colleagues and friends, I decided myself to move, only dedicate my career to English teacher as an English teacher this year. So it's a pleasure to be here because I am not only a fan of English language, but also about football. And let's talk about
we can do both here, man. Very different, both of the things, like working the business areas and then teaching in NGO. My first ever teaching experience was teaching a big group. You know, the youngest was 9, the oldest was 16. I became like this clown teacher because of that, you know. How was the reception from the kids you were teaching them?
Yes, back in the volunteer experience, it was great because it's in public school, so we have a different environment that we can think about. But I received a lot of attention and also enthusiasm because it was, of course, very first touch with English language for them. It was with a group of teens as well.
So forged in fire.
With a huge group, around 30 or 40 students, so it was a great beginning for me as a teacher.
Nice. You mentioned 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗀, so shout out to everybody from 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗀. By the way, a quick round up here. Shout out to 𝗬𝗀𝗃𝗏. Hello, Wesley. Hi, Noah. Both of them were guests here. Hello, 𝗬𝗀𝗃𝗏. Hello, Eric, or Potato Eric. Okay, nice to have you here, guys. Hello, Simone. You are always here every weekend. Nice to have you back here. Okay, hello, Wagner. Hello, Anderson. So, talking about the times here, which is your favorite class here, man? How was the adaptation to teaching?
Whoa, it's a difficult question for me to answer because fortunately I have been teaching teens, adults, business English as well. So I really like the way we put the student in the center. That's why I learned English in the past as an active search for knowledge. So I really like, and if I can choose one, I really enjoy the grammar classes because it's involved in a lot of things, not only grammar, rule this, rule that, but especially the context and how we can have to use better that or this or that verb tense or rule from English language. So it's very nice to have this kind of conversation, putting also the grammar connected with the things.
A big thing for me here was that they learn grammar using it, and they actually interact in the class.
Exactly.
It's not something very distant from the student.
Exactly. Right.
Have you used football in one of your classes or many of your classes?
I try to put some parts of English, especially trying to bring kind of thing from the nature of the game. But probably in the next few months I will put a little bit more.
But let's make a deal. If you make a special class about American football or football in general, share.
Of course.
It would be nice. Okay, nice, man. So Okay, where are you from, Leandro?
I'm from São Paulo.
Okay, you're from São Paulo,
Yeah.
so Brazil, of course.
Yeah.
And okay, how did you start having contact with American football? Because it's not a Brazilian thing. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. It didn't used to be a Brazilian thing.
Exactly. Good point.
Let's be more precise. So
That's good.
What happened there?
So I am part of a family that is crazy about sports. So my father is a very sports enthusiast. So we have been watching all kind of sports in television. And when I was a little boy, I watched one of the first Super Bowl broadcasted here in Bandeirantes TV, brought by 𝗬𝗀𝗶𝗺𝗏𝗀𝗀.
Amazing narrator.
Amazing
One of the
guy.
best, I guess.
Yes, sure. Completely agree.
I was a bit, divided between him and Silvio Luis, because Silvio Luis was also funny.
Yes,
yes. I loved it.
I like both.
From the prophet's beard and those stuff used to say.
And both of them are together in Show the Sport back in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
That's where I started to watch football games. Especially here we have amazing jersey.
Man, they're
from
beautiful.
Dallas Cowboys. Okay, the quarterback, the famous.
This is the official thing, man. It's like high quality.
Yes. And with this jersey, Troy Aikman used this jersey in 1993, one of the most famous Super Bowl, because we not only have the game itself, but also a special halftime show. With a performance from Michael Jackson.
Oh man, imagine.
Yes. So it was
mind-boggling in a way. I can imagine a scenario like this. Somebody that goes only for the concert and doesn't give a fuck about football, and then start enjoying, and some die-hard football fan that doesn't give a damn about Michael Jackson. Oh my God, he's a legend. So it's very nice how simple it is to get two things that have an amazing revenue in terms of broadcasting and events and stuff like this, and put them together.
Yes. Pretty important thing that you mentioned, because it's part of the NFL, the National Football League, the league that manage all the things in football. They try in beginning to mix the culture, the American culture in general, like music, with sports. So currently we have this kind of separation with football fans and music fans, but in the business perspective, it's been amazing for the league, because we have people from all over the kind of not categories of people, but from any kind of taste to watch the game, not only because of the game, the sport.
And it's very smart stuff, because you increase these demographics.
Exactly.
Let's say, for example, somebody assume that football is a very male-oriented thing. Like the demographics shows that the biggest slice of the pie would be filled by men from 20 to 50s, whatever. I'm saying this out of my ass. Okay, just an example. And then you have like a Lady Gaga concert.
Exactly.
And then you double these demographics there, and people, I'm already here, there's food, there's fun, they watch the show, and then...
Exactly. A whole experience, not only for the die-hard fans like myself, but also for all kind of people.
So this implies something very interesting comparing to Brazil. How long are the intervals in the games there?
Yes, that's a very good question, because during the regular season, or the first games of the season, we have a standard halftime duration, so around 15 minutes, like in the soccer.
You can have a pocket show there.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Okay, bye-bye.
Especially in the Super Bowl, they increased that length of time to allow the possibility of a huge show. Of course, it's not a show with 10 songs, but the artists
like 30, 40 minutes, something like that.
Yes, around this. And it was great, but also we have the other side. Some players and coaches aren't a good fan of this kind of because they are not
warmed up and now
exactly. But it's part of the experience to be in a league like this, a so commercial focused league like NFL.
Well, what was surprising for me, that's why I started to picture this here in Brazil, Leandro, was when there was the FIFA World Cup, the Club World Cup, they were doing this there.
Yes, I saw.
Man, it was another very intelligent marketing thing, because the impression that I had is like FIFA was trying to do the trial. Let's put a lot of stuff here and see if they buy it. If they bought it, we're gonna apply it. In Brazil, though, I guess the biggest challenge would be to apply this in soccer specifically. Would be this, like convince the teams and the organization to let's put a concert here. So the interval is gonna have 25 minutes, not 30 minutes, not. Yeah. But I don't know. It makes a lot of sense commercially speaking. A lot. Let me take a look here. Okay, a lot of people here. Oh man, you have a lot of fans. Okay, 𝗍𝗶𝗵𝗀 is asking here, Leandro, without hesitation, tell us about your feeling towards Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors.
Yes. 𝗍𝗶𝗵𝗀 is asking about NBA, other famous league. I really like NBA as well, but not so much as football. But I am not so fan of Steph Curry because I like the old basketball when you have less 3-point attempts. Now it's all 3-point attempts all the time. But let me say hello, 𝗍𝗶𝗵𝗀. It's a pleasure to work with you.
Man, this is a discussion in many sports actually, because in football there is the same. In soccer there is. When I say football here, sometimes you have to interchange the term. But okay, soccer. That there is the golden age of soccer where you have like one very skilled player that will change the game, and today is more centered in tactics. So you don't need a Pelé, a Messi. If you have one of those, it's nice. It's not bad. I'm not saying that it's bad, but you don't have a whole. Portugal used to. I don't know how it's going to be anymore, but you don't have the whole team, the home squad centered in one player. It's more like a functional team together, And some people would say that this removes the beauty of the game. Maybe it's the thing you feel about basketball.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly like this.
Is there any similarity in football about that? The game, how it used to be? I don't know, man. It looks like very testosterone-driven game. Let's go, 45, 40. They say some random numbers, then people clash. That's the impression I have from an outsider.
That's a very good point, because one of the most fascinating things about American football is the connection with strategy. You can have the most talented player playing in a team, but if you don't have the right strategy to advance in the field with the ball, you cannot be successful. So it's not only one or two players. We have to have a team. And another very interesting thing that we have two kind of teams inside the team. You have the offensive team and the defensive team. It's totally different players from each group. So when you were with the ball, you are in the offense with 11 guys. And when you lose the ball, you have a different group of 11 guys playing for you. So you have to be strong.
It's like a switch.
Yes, we switch. So you have to be strong with the core group of 11 guys in the offense, and also with the group of 11 guys in the defense. So that's why we have, of course, many famous players like Tom Brady. one of the most successful players of all time, but it's difficult to...
I'm laughing because he is very good in catching stuff.
Yes, but it's very important in a group or in a team to have successful players, not only like Tom Brady, the most important guy throwing the ball, but also that kind of very strong with a big neck holding the horses.
The symbiosis of a human being and a pit bull.
Yes, exactly. So these pit bulls, they are holding the defensive line from the other team to protect Tom Brady, for example, the quarterback, to throw more accurately to the other player.
It's like army strategies in a way, like you have the guys with the shield and the archers, and that's very
makes sense this kind of comparison.
For people that don't understand the passion that people have about sports, can you share a little bit, and then I'll go back to the chat, guys. A lot of movement here today. How did you used to feel when you were kids watching these games? You used to be like a bonding thing, you and your father, or you and your family? How was it?
Yes, at first it was with my father, especially my sister as well. But after some time, I met some guys, and we started to make a Super Bowl party each year.
I used to do that with UFC, a group of friends.
Yes, like this. So
it's a beer and just...
Exactly, a lot of things. So especially I brought this jersey. It's from Super Bowl from the 2008.
Man,
this team is Arizona Cardinals. Look at the badge of the Super Bowl. And since 2008, we get together every February. It's around the beginning of each year in February. So we get together, bought a lot of food, bought a lot of drinks, and watch the game together, laugh, and sharing a very good time watching the game.
It causes for me, it used to be like there was this 𝗧𝗹𝗺𝗃 effect. It was so fun. We used to talk about life and stuff, and then oh my god, the game is back.
Yes, exactly.
It was really nice.
And it's quite different than soccer here, because we have a huge number of stops during the game.
So it's not just like first and second.
No, yeah, but during between the plays. So we have time to chat, we have time to exchange something. So it's interesting to have this kind of gathering, because we do not just watch the game, but also talk a little bit and be more connected with the person.
All right, for people that have never watched a game, can you tell us the basics? Like I was telling you before we went live, the impression that I have explained to me like I'm 5 years old, but two teams, one pitch. This line splits like my side, your side. Your intention is to get the ball. Like this. By the way, this is the ball, and and you have to cross the whole way. And when you go to the last part, it would be like the touchdown.
Yes. No,
it's okay. I'm not too far off.
No. You have a very good understanding about the game. I want to emphasize the territory thing. Okay. So you have to gain territory with the ball to reach the opposite side of your field, to enter in an area called end zone. When you enter with the ball, you can score a touchdown. So you can score 6 points when you move your group of players through this, through the field, through the pitch, and arrive there. So it's very important to think about territory, because you can go like wild man running the ball, but you have to have strategy, because you have just only 4 possibilities to gain 10 yards. So it's a limited possibility by each play.
After 4, you lose the possession.
Exactly. So you have to renew when you reach the 10 yards or more, of course. You renew for another 4 possessions of the ball.
Nice.
So you have to have a lot of strategies, a lot of possibilities, because if the other team look at you, Mike likes to throw the ball. Of course, in the next play, he will throw. So you have to think, no, now let's run the ball with a small guy and go through the barricades.
Okay, wait. Stop right there. With a small guy.
Yeah.
I may be wrong, but I have the impression that a smaller guy would be like The Rock. Now it's the Pebble because he lost to almost 100 pounds. I'm joking. Terrible joke. But how is the building of the person influences in the position? Okay, obviously the big guys would be like the defenders, I imagine, like the tanks.
Yeah.
In soccer, we used to say like the star, like the number 10. This would be like the quarterback.
Yes.
The famous one.
Yes, good.
It's like the brain.
The brain, exactly.
Okay.
The brain. Like the quarterback is the man who decided the strategy and each play. So he get the ball, look at the defensive line and decided, now we run with the ball. When I mentioned a small guy,
the runners there.
The runners, exactly.
Okay, the tip of the spear.
Yes, I like to say that one because they have to be small to run between the other players. But we have different kind of athletes. Also not only the strongest, but also more and more tall. Because we have, if you throw the ball, you can...
okay. It would be like the receivers.
Exactly, receivers, exactly that name.
Really?
So we can have this kind of strong, but she have to be fast as well. So look, we have a lot of different kind of characteristics inside offensive line. As well, that strong with big neck, the pit bulls that just keep the other team away from the quarterback.
It's very interesting.
And I want to emphasize again the strategy because before each one of the four possibilities to play, they made a small reunion called huddle when the quarterback asked the other team, oh, let's go, now we will run the ball or I will throw the ball. So they decided together seconds before, looking at the other, the defensive from the other team, to select the better option. So you can see as well a kind of note in the arm of the quarterback.
Okay.
So it's a lot of plays because you have to have a lot of strategy.
We're gonna do play number 45 now.
Yes, exactly.
And they know what play number 45 means.
Exactly. But you have to be smart. Like the other team will observe and we will hear you, we will listen to you. So you have to disguise the type of play.
Okay, not to be too obvious.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so when you see those guys like this, 45, blah, blah, blah,
Yes.
What are they doing? Is the number of the player or the number of the plays? Is like
could be both.
It's just to mess it up with the other team.
Could be both, but the ambition, the intention is to avoid easy understanding for the other team.
And then they do
yes, like this, go there, go this, go that. So it's kind of to apply your strategy, but avoiding the defensive team to understand better what you want to do.
Man, so the practice must be one of the most important things because, like you said, the team has to be really coerced there, and if it's like a one-play team, will be easy beat because they always do this, just tackle that guy and that's it.
Exactly. That's why they call the practice like a sanctuary. So when you have to prepare yourself from the next game, they have 4 days of intense practice to keep the strategy adaptable and more effective comparing with the next team. So every week we have changes on the defense, on the offense to make sure that for the next opponent you are in the best position to win the game. So it's completely different from we have very good player, let's play with them all the time. Just throw the ball. No, you have to adapt yourself, adapt the team to the next opponent to make sure that you have the right way to score points.
And the coach has to be really, really tight with the quarterback. Otherwise, there will be like a rupture. You can have the best coach, but if the brain there is like not as efficient, there will be a bridge.
Exactly.
There won't be a bridge there.
That's why they have a connection with a sound they use inside their helmets. A point when can talk. We can.
Is that allowed?
Yes, they're allowed.
Man, that's interesting.
The head coach and the offensive coach. Remember, we have two different teams. So we have the head coach, an offensive coach, and a defensive coach. Both of them have a line with the quarterback to make sure. Okay, let's decide this play. Okay, and sometimes the offensive coach. Stay not in the field, in the pitch, next to the player. Stay in a
better position.
In a better position up there, like a fan, to see the field more clearly. And there he send a message. Go there to use that number 4 play, because it will be more effective. Because I can see from above that we have a weakness on this defensive team. So that's why it's so interesting, because we have a lot of strategy.
Yeah, this is very, very intelligent as well. And another huge difference comparing to soccer here in Brazil as well.
Yeah.
And another thing, it will sound a little silly what I'm going to say, but they need to be on the same page, because the quarterback is listening to everything. Imagine they start to are you nuts? Let's do this play. Let's do this play. They go,
Exactly. That's what I really like your point, because this kind of connection, it's so necessary, because they practice a group of plays to decide which is better during the game. So of course a quarterback can decide by themselves there during the game, but they have to be in touch with the head coach and the coordinator, to the coach of offensive, to make sure that they are doing the right thing. It's totally different than soccer in terms of improvisation. You cannot improve anything. It's so important to have all the things decided with a reasonable situation, because the other team, of course, they will see any kind of movement for yourself. So it's kind of sophisticated thing.
Yeah, and they probably watch the games, of one another.
Sure.
To recognize the pattern and stuff like that. When they do this move, this is probably the play they're going to use.
There's a famous moment during the week when you, as a player, watch the best moment, the highlights from the next team. So they have a big rooms with a huge screen to watch. Oh, look, that team used it to do this, to do that. So it's very connected with the necessity. You have to do not only your next man to avoid or to throw the ball. You have to understand the other team as well.
Man, a lot of homework for the players.
Of course.
A lot of homework there.
Of course. Yeah.
All right, let me take a look here. Okay, one moment, man. All right. Okay. Okay, shout out to you, Wagner. Hey, hey, a lot of students from there. That's nice, guys.
Amazing,
That's nice. Anderson here. Very nice teacher. Okay, hi, Anderson. Yeah, hi. Okay, Francisco from Fortaleza. Shout out to you, man. Okay. I want to know when Leandro traveled to New York City. Did he go to any stadium to watch a live game in NFL? Okay,
yes.
We can cover that now. This is from 𝗏𝗏. Can you describe how it is from within, the perspective, the atmosphere and the vibe and the fans? For example, something you told me before is about the rivals being close to one another.
Yes,
No hooligans there.
Yes, exactly. So when you watch a game, an NFL game, the first thing that you have to remember is that there's no division between the fans. So you can sit next to a guy who support other team. So it's completely different than we have here.
How are they able to do this, man? No tribalism there in terms of maybe the laws, the pun if you mess it up.
Good point. That's a very interesting thing. When you watch a game, I had the opportunity to watch 2 games there in the US, one in Detroit and other in Phoenix by this team, the Arizona Cardinals. One important thing, the announcer of the stadium speak loudly. If you see or if you notice some trouble, it's your responsibility to make sure that everyone is manageable. So if you see someone throwing punches or making mess, it's your responsibility as well. So create a kind of collective experience to everyone protect themselves in a group. That's so important, that kind of approach. That's why they use they have this kind of game for everyone.
It's a family event, or can it be?
For sure. So we have first thing that we also it's important to remember that the amount of game, the quantity of games during the season, it's small. You play only 8 times in your stadium during the year. Okay. So every one of the 8 games, it's like a huge event. So you arrive early, you start to eat outside, you share something with friends outside the stadium. There we have a lot of activities to do inside the stadium. So it's a huge party. It's completely connected to entertainment. It's not like here in Brazil, we have to watch my team have to win this game, no matter why. So it's more entertainment perspective with a family background. And I am so happy. I was happy last year with the first game here in São Paulo, and I'm overwhelmed, completely happy this week because it's been an experience for all Brazilians. This kind of environment, this kind of not a calm environment. I mean, this kind of
friendlier
environment. It's possible in any kind of place. So during the last game here in Arena Corinthians, I was seated with a lot of guys from totally different teams, making fun with, oh, you like Philadelphia, no, I'm like Green Bay. So we are completely safe and in a good place. So I'm realizing that time last year that it's so important for us as Brazilians to have this kind of experience here, to see how is the game there.
Yeah, it's possible to break the tribalism in this aspect, and maybe one of the things that could be a huge influence, of course, different cultures too, and the laws and everything is different in this aspect, but how is how do you form an elite athlete there? Because in soccer in Brazil, I mentioned before, you have the diamond in the rough, that is the kids playing in a community and a scout season. Oh my God, like a Ronaldinho Gaúcho thing. Yeah. But in Brazil, there is also kind of a underground discussion. I'm not saying that this is true, but maybe it happens. That there are a lot of bad players in professional team because it's a managing thing. There is a manager that he has this athlete to invest, and then this athlete has all the doors opened for them because he has a good manager. And then in American football, is there anything slightly similar, or is different because of the university and school?
It's totally different because it's connected with education.
Nice.
So since the high school, a player could receive a scholarship to play for that school. So if you were good enough in terms of athletic perspective, strong or with a strong arm or run quickly, you have the opportunity to receive a scholarship. And many of the schools offer for poor kids, like Brazil, in terms of giving possibilities to poor people to increase their money and to develop a career. But you have to complete your regular courses in high school.
So you have to study as well, not
yes,
always.
of course. And when you finish high school, you are able to receive a scholarship from a university. And based on your performance in high school and university, you could be selected by an NFL team in the professional arena.
Man, imagine the head of a kid there, like doing high school, and like, oh my God, I have this whole path. Man, it creates a sense of grounding, like you anchor the team in school because of this,
Yes, it's completely connected with the development of the country, because of course it's an elite group of players. We have only 32 teams in NFL, so it's a small group it's elite of elite. So a lot of good players do not reach the top level. But even without being an NFL player, they have an educational background. So it's connected with how the country is not only developed in comparison with others, but also the connection between sports and school. It's very strong and very important to make not only the league so strong, but also the country so strong in many, many forms.
I imagine it opened another doors to. I was joking about 𝗏𝗏, but he started as a football player.
Yes.
Then he went to wrestling and then became a movie star.
Yeah.
So aren't those games broadcasted on TV? Like there are leagues, high school leagues, college leagues, so it's not only professional.
Exactly, and it's funny how they reserve days in the national television. So Friday night, it's reserved from high school games. Saturday afternoon and night is reserved from university.
Nice.
And Sunday is reserved for professional games. That's so serious that kind of game here in Brazil, it's on a Friday. It's totally unusual for them. So the league have to make kind of legal procedure to show the country, okay, we are not trying to use the slot from high school. We just put this because it's another country, so you manage to put this in a good hours from the country and also from the USA. So
and it's amazing because I imagine here only people that are really, really crazy about the sports, they would watch, for example, under 20s or under 17 type of games.
Yeah.
You have to be really a diehard for the sport, Like my parents, if there is football games with chickens, my parents do what? They love football. They watch everything, Don't care if it's male football, female, or teens or whatever, they watch. And this is kind of normal there. They like the game regardless of being famous stars or like...
Exactly. And also, let me add one thing. When you have a child playing in high school,
there's there too.
You drive to Solvent, and when they reach the university, you move yourself during weekends to watch your son playing in the other side of the country.
Man, that's amazing. Okay, let me go back here. Oh,
Yeah.
he's awesome. Rafaela, tell us about NFL. Just doing that. Nice. Okay. Okay. In your opinion, who is the greatest? Okay. The greatest athlete, and what's the greatest team of all time and greatest NFL player of all time? From Marcos, this one.
Thank you, Marcus. Good question. It's always
Who is the Pelé of football?
It's always a good question because we have the jersey of Tom Brady. Tom Brady is very famous in Brazil because he played. He was married with 𝗍𝗫𝗍𝗃 in the famous model. Brady won record 7 Super Bowls.
7.
So he is the most successful player of all time. But sometimes this kind of discussion it's not so easy to answer.
Normal. Yeah,
because
Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo.
Exactly.
Pelé or Maradona.
Exactly, and think about, of course, Brady it's amazing. I'm a huge fan of this man, but he was born and he played in an area with a lot of developments, a lot of
high-tech stuff.
The diets. So think about a quarterback back in the 60s or 50s. Sometimes the quarterback have to play in the offense and also in the defense. Because back there it's completely different.
Man, it's the very same type of discussions that we have in football. Okay, do you think Pelé would be a good player today?
Exactly.
Or Lionel Messi could be a good player 6 years ago, where the quality of the pitch and the ball and the shoe, very interesting.
But let me say another name that's so important to emphasize. We have a very famous player from the 80s and the 90s called Dan Marino. Dan Marino is from
I heard of this one.
Very famous one. He never won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
But he is also considered one of the greatest because he has a strong arm. He can throw a ball so far. And he is considered one of the greatest, like Joe Montana, another very famous here in Brazil. And also we have Jerry Rice, a very famous wide receiver, the guy who received the ball, very fast guy. And a lot of others like John Elway. We have also Troy Aikman. And now we have a discussion with the famous Patrick Mahomes, who is part of the team that will play Friday on São Paulo. He's part of Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City won recently 3 Super Bowls.
Okay.
So it's one of the most successful teams in the recent years. But in the top we have New England from Tom Brady with 6.
Like 6 in a row or in total?
No, in total.
Okay.
In total. New England Patriots won from 2001 to 2008, so it's a small part of time. So that's why the team it's been so popular here in Brazil. But we have also Pittsburgh Steelers with 6 titles, back from the 70s and also from the 20s. But we have a very heated discussion about the greatest teams because there are teams like Dallas Cowboys with 5 Super Bowls, but since 1995 they never reached the Super Bowl again, but as an amazing group of fans. They call Dallas Cowboys as America's team because they have fans all over the country. So it's difficult to say exactly which one is better.
It makes a lot of sense because there are a lot of criteria to analyze. For example, getting all the victories apart. What was the biggest difference in terms of scores and points? And you mentioned about the players. I automatically thought about Cristiano Ronaldo and 𝗵𝗵𝗆, that they are considered great players, but they were... I don't know if I can say they had a bad luck to be in a team that was not as highly competitive as they are.
Got it.
That's a very interesting discussion. Okay, let me take a look here. No, 𝗂𝗃𝗏, I'm not gonna talk about that, but thank you. You guys can read in the chat later. Okay, another from Wesley here. Ask about Josh Allen being the MVP QB of last season instead of Lamar Jackson.
Oh, good
What's
question.
about that?
So we have two great and powerful, talented quarterbacks, QBs, named Allen from Buffalo Bills and also Lamar Jackson from Baltimore Ravens. So each year they select MVP, the most valuable player, or in other words, more common choose, the best player in the league.
MVP. Okay.
Yes, MVP. So they selected before the end of the season, before the Super Bowl. So it's like a difficult decision to decide. And Lamar Jackson had best numbers comparing with Allen. So it's kind of difficult to understand why the league selected, why the league and also the journalists selected Allen instead of the other player. Yes,
Money,
exactly.
influence, sponsors.
Yes, and create and that's the league won in every way, because with this kind of the discussion, everyone is going to social media or watching TV to talk. No, I think this, I think that. So it's good that the position, the selection of a best player, it's also good for the league in terms of repercussion, in terms of media, in terms of all kind of things.
In a weird way, conspiracy theories aside, any backlash that you receive from doing something polemic, it becomes marketing. People will be discussing about your brand and the tournaments and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's a silly question, but is there any type of VAR in NFL, like a system to say fall or no fall and stuff like that? I don't know.
Yes. To be honest, NFL, it's one of the first leagues in the world to have this kind of verification. Back there in the beginning of the 90s, they have a group of selected judges outside the game to review the not all plays, but doubtful situations. They stopped the game to watch, to decide this. So now we have almost 30 years of tradition using kind of VAR in NFL. Of course, it's related to human function, so we have kind of controversial situations, but normal, but it was one of the most successful sports in using electronic and videotape to reverse plays. So it's very common to have a beautiful touchdown and reverse it quickly because there are some kind of irregular movement or some kind of illegal movement from the player. So it was completely rooted in the sport, but also with kind of controversy because it's part of this kind of
because of the tradition here. It took too long for it to have this type of technology, because I used to watch the games and I say, man, there are like a lot of classic exams where like the ball bounced inside the goal in World Cups sometimes, and they wouldn't do anything, and it happened. And some people would say, but it loses the authenticity in the game. No, man, it's an objective thing. If it's a score, it's a score. If it's a foul, it's a foul.
Exactly.
Something like that. I wrote something here that while you were describing some things, I started to have these flashes in the back of my brain about some movies that I watched. And one thing that Americans are good is to show their culture in a way that invites other people to enjoy it. Like you are watching a movie, maybe it's a comedy movie, and the opening scene is like a football game, for example. or they show the landscapes and the things. I remember a movie called Radio with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
Never Back Down, that starts with the protagonist playing. There is a famous one that I need to watch, is Titans, something like that.
Yes.
Which ones I want to get from a diehard from football? What do you recommend us to watch, man?
The first movie that I want to recommend, it's Any Given Sunday. It's from a university
Any Given
team.
Sunday. Take notes, guys.
With the famous Al Pacino. And they talk about, especially in the perspective of the locker room, okay? With the relationship between the coach and the players. So they have to decide this. Another one very famous that I also recommend, it's kind of movie, it's kind of chick flicks. It's with Tom Cruise, I forget the name.
Jerry Maguire.
Oh,
I like this movie. Show me the money.
Yeah, exactly. And that position of Tom Cruise, it's very famous because they are a professional agent. So they try to insert the players in the right team, try to convince the other, try to convince the managers of the team to recruit the best players from the universe. So I really enjoyed these two movies, and I think that it's a very good recommendation.
Nice. Wesley's asking here, do you like to watch football college or only NFL league? Do you watch the college ones?
I watch college. It's quite similar, one or two difference between the rules. But I was more connected with the professional league. This year I had the opportunity to be in the US in a university. I studied in Ohio University back there in Athens, a small city in the northeast part of United States, and I had the opportunity to be in touch, not watch the game because it's not in the season, but sometimes I try to find Ohio University game to watch, but I am so fun, but that's why I have a lot of shirts, because I have a connection with almost all 32 teams.
So do you root for in a specific one, or you are split there?
Yes, I have to be honest, I'm using the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
That's let me say about the story of this small ball.
Okay.
I won from this ball in 1993 after the Super Bowl.
Nice.
My mother and my father gave me from my 10-year birthday.
Man, that's beautiful. It's a family heirloom already. Nice.
Yes. This ball is from the Houston Oilers. This team moved to Tennessee area. So now they are Tennessee Titans. I am a fan of Tennessee Titans. It's not so strong. We reached Super Bowl just once and lose. But I like to watch a lot of games. I have a special connected with New England Patriots because of Tom Brady and the history of the team. But I have to admit that I am a huge fan of Tennessee Titans as a team.
This is something interesting because it's not about just rooting for the team who always wins, but the one you emotionally connect.
Exactly.
That you have that, comfort memories from your life and stuff like this.
Exactly.
This is nice. Leandro, unfortunately, we are running out of time already, man.
No.
So I thought about one thing that we can wrap this up. What's your perspective about the future of football, especially now that it's kind of, reaching other spaces and other countries? So what do you think is going to happen in the future?
I think currently Brazil is considered the second of the third market in NFL. So
the second?
Yes.
Really?
That's huge. That's huge. That's information from this week. We have staff from NFL, of course, this week here in Brazil. And it probably will have this game. This week we have the second game in a row in Brazil, but
tickets available.
Very expensive, by the way.
I imagine.
But we have probably we will have a game every year in Brazil, and I can see clearly that we have 2 or more games in Brazil in the next future. For example, in England we have more than three games every year. It's not easy, of course, because of the distance, but we have good stadiums, especially in the north part of Brazil, more close to US. So, but we have another great news from the last couple of days. Global TV bought the rights to show.
So there is a huge market in there.
Huge market, a huge moment, because NFL it's connected with ESPN, cable TV, a cable network, and now it's sharing these rights with Global TV. So of course we do not have Super Bowl sharing the same time with Fantástico, but it's a strong message from the league and from the Brazilian possibility. So I can see games in Rio de Janeiro as well, and more coverage on TV, not only in Sport TV like the cable segment of Global TV, but as well maybe one game on Open TV and next to the famous global programming.
And who knows, one day we have a Brazilian league too. Can expect it?
Yes. To be honest, we already have.
Really?
Yes. We have a strong league here in Brazil, of course, completely weak in terms of not only money but also quality of the game. But we have a lot of practice here in Brazil. People like to play the sport, not only watch.
Nice.
That's why NFL is looking for us a huge potential, because we have now a player play in the NFL, Brazilian guy who studied there in the US. But maybe in the future we'll have more players from
That would be
Brazil.
nice, man. That would be nice. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Man, time flew by. It's amazing when we can, this happens here. It's nice. And thank you guys in the chat too. A lot of comments here, and it's nice to see that you guys are enjoying the show. Final message to everyone watching us, man?
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, a pleasure to speak more about this. I really like to use this kind of thing to learn more about the culture from other countries, and also to speak more English and learn more about the cultures and open our minds and open our possibilities to not only travel the world but know a little bit more about the culture and the other things. And we have here at times open for receiving you, and let's speak in English a lot.
Nice, amazing way to make friends too. And guys, don't forget, this episode is going to be on Spotify tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel. Send this to somebody that you know is a diehard for football. And hope to see you next week. Same day, same time on our next episode of Talking Times. And let's finish throwing this at the camera. It's going to be a very nice effect. Bye-bye.